Shanaka and welcome to Get Lean with Adeline. You have myself, Adeline Tutu, taking you through today's stability and mobility class. So with this first one, we are going to be on our knees or hands and knees. So I'm going to get you to come onto the mat. For this first one here, alright, so from here we're going to be challenging our core but also a lot of shoulder mobility and hip as well. So we'll start here with our knees. Let me just give my timer a quick start here so I can see where we're at with our workout. From here, I want you to dig both the heels of your hands into the mat. A nice soft bend in your elbows, you're not pushing your elbows out to the front. From here, I'm going to lift, okay, flexing my heel. I'm going to lift my heel up to the hip, to the sky or the ceiling. And then I'm going to circle my hip out to the side. While you're doing this, I want you to be mindful of that left hip not moving at all. So keeping that lovely tension through the left side as you're working through it out. And as I've mentioned in many of our episodes, my neighbors love to work at this time of the morning. All day actually, so please try to focus on my movements rather than the noise behind me, if you can hear that. Let's go for 3 more like this. Amazing. Final 2. Last one here, coming up, out to the side, and then back. Now this time we're going to reverse this movement. If staying on your heels of your hands is a bit too much, I want you to drop onto your forearm of your left side, but keep that right hand on the floor. This is going to provide you a bit of support, but also just taking the tension off your wrists. So this time we're coming out to the side, open the knee, and then straight back in to where you started. Trying your best not to turn and rotate. We're not doing that just yet. So just focus on that controlled movement. The left hip stays nice and strong, holding you in this position. Open up to the side and back. Let's go for 2 more like this. Final 1. All right, fantastic. Coming back up onto your hands. This time, as you extend that left knee, that right knee, sorry, out to the back, you're going to bring that right hand or the left hand, whichever side you're working, if it's right and left, just holding those 2 points of contact. Now, we're just trying our best to maintain this bent position. Now, circle out to the side and bring it straight back in. So a whole lot of stability through the trunk of your entire body, but working through your shoulder and your hip girdle. Okay? So you're starting right here. We're going to open out to the side, bring it straight back in. Hold that position, open out to the side, bring it straight back in. You're going to start feeling your glute working really hard to maintain this position. Out to the side and straight back in. Elbows facing the front, knee out to the side. Let's go for 2. Last one, keep that knee nice and high. It's a little bit tricky here. Now hold that position. Let's lengthen the arm here. Hold that position with your knee. We're just going to keep the knee coming up and down, drawing a line with your knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's flip our hands up to the ceiling or to the sky. Stretching out the shoulder girdle, pushing that hip out. Now, I felt that in my right glute. Let's move over to our left side. When it comes to stability and mobility, you don't necessarily need to prioritize dominant over non-dominant. Only during the Pilates flow, sculpt, and strengthen knee exercise is when you need to put the non-dominant side before the other side. Now, let's move over to the other side. We're going to bring our forearm down to the floor, so we take the tension off our wrists. Let's lift our heel up to the sky. Now over to the other side, circular motion through the hip. Trying your best again here. The opposite that we did in that last series, keeping that right hip nice and stiff. Heel to the sky, open to the side, bring it straight back to center. Lovely work. Let's go for 4 and 3. Nice little work through the shoulders and the hip. Final 2. Last one, we go in the opposite direction here before we incorporate the arms. Let's come in, out to the side, and rotate back to center. I'm just going to flip over so that you can see this better and understand what I mean. Just flipping over, same movement. We're going to go out to the side and straight back in. Final 2. Lengthening through the neck. Final 1. Now let's hold that position here. Let's bring ourselves back up onto our heels and on our heels of our hands. You're going to bring that arm up, bending at the elbow. Okay? So as your knee comes out to the side, you bring that hand in and squeeze straight back up. So holding those two positions is a whole lot better, strengthening your shoulders and your hips while you're working through your shoulder girdle and your hip girdle. Nice work. Let's bring it back out for 5 and 4. Straightening that knee. Keep that knee nice and high. You should be feeling this in the glute. Final 3 and 2. Last one here before we pulse. Hold that leg up. Arm straightens out here. We're going to go for those pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. Okie dokie. Let's give it a bit of a stretch here. Rocking your arms side to side just to release any tightness around your shoulders. And then your hips. Opening up the sides of your body. Amazing work. I hope you enjoyed that first part of our mobility stability class. Stay with me after the break. We're going to get into a little more detail of this. Welcome back to Get Lean with Adeline. I am going to move straight into our next series. Join me on the mat. I'd like you to lie on your back with your knees bent. Now from here, we are going to be working our entire trunk, our glutes, hamstrings, and your calves. So a lot of ankle stability here with this next one. So it's going to work you in ways that might be a bit challenging, but I want you to try your best to do and get through this one. So hands by your side, palms to the floor. From here, I'm going to take a nice tilt. So I'm going to zip my pelvic bone up to my sternum. So I'm closing that gap in, and then I roll the spine all the way up. Okay, so it's really great that you allow the discs in your spine, vertebra by vertebra, to touch the floor. Arch the back a little, roll back up into that lovely hip bridge. Nice work. Exhaling to the top and inhaling as you lower yourself down. So a lot of the hamstrings here works with the glute. But when it comes to rolling up, try to take away from the hamstrings and just keep it to the hip. And then on the way up, pushing through your entire soles of your feet to bring yourself back up. Now we go for 2 more like this before we hold at the top. Final 1. Nice. Let's go for 1 more. This time you're going to hold your hip high. Now shuffle your feet a little bit closer with your hips high. And then from here, I'm going to go for heel raises. Okay? So heel raises here. A lot of mobility through your ankles, allowing this movement. But nothing happens to that hip. Okay? So you should still see the front of your thighs. Hips are nice and high, neck nice and long, shoulders away from the floor. Now I want you to imagine you have some stilettos on and you're pushing your stilettos into your mat with a bit of tension, okay? So you should feel these already through the hamstring. Nice. We're getting to our mobility. Nice. Let's go for 2 more like this. On our next one, you're going to hold this position right here. Shuffle in a little if you need to. Now from here, keeping both your hips stable, you're going to bring one knee up towards the chest, drop over to the other side. I'm keeping my thumb right on the side of my tailbone, of the side of my hip, so that iliac crest is supported by my thumb. Okay, hold that position. If you want, you can hold your hips high. But the only thing I want you to focus on is not tilting the hips side to side as you bring the knee up. Keep it nice and stable. Going for 4 more. And 3. Final 2. Last one. Hold. your right leg up. Let's work with the left side first. You're going to try your best, okay? As you're keeping that hip high, you're going to thread that leg through. But keep that left hip bone facing the ceiling. Straight back up. Bring that right foot in. Thread that needle through. And straight back up. Hold that position. We've got 3 more to go. Hold that hip high. Last one here, you got it. And down. Nice work. Let's drop all the way down. Bringing our legs in, hugging it out. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of work through that side. Now I'm just going to sit up and then flip over real quick so that you can understand my technique as I take you through the other side. Rolling all the way down. Let's go for some really quick hip bridges here with your heels raised, and then we can work on that right leg. Bringing the tailbone up, rolling all the way in, and drop it straight back down. Exhale into the top. One more before we hold. Nice one. Now let's go for our knee marches. So coming up into that knee march, going for left and then right. We're going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that right foot on the floor, the right ball of your foot. Let's raise that right leg, that left leg up. Okay, so it's going to come out to the front and then out to the side, threading that left leg through and then pulling it straight back up. Now, if you need to support your iliac crest or your hip bone with your thumbs, go ahead and do that, but try your best to keep that hip bone facing the sky. Let's go for 3 more. Final 2. Woo-hoo. Last one here, healthy hips. And let's drop it down. Oh my goodness. Lovely little bit of work for your hip girdle there. Well done, team. And a lot of core stability through your entire trunk. So rigidity in your spine is meant to be there for every single training session to avoid injury in your spine, okay? Oh my gosh. And that is it for your workout for today. You can also follow me on Instagram, Get Lean with Adeline on Instagram for a few tips and tricks on how to stay healthy and fit. Until next time, just remember, you're just as strong as your last workout.